today is going to be a reaction, something that I saw on Twitter. It was about
Elon Musk.
the owner, CEO of Twitter, SpaceX, Boring Company, Tesla, and whatever other companies he owns. The richest man on the goddamn planet. So Elon Musk was recently interviewed with a BBC representative, a journalist, and he seems like he doesn't know what he's doing, and he's a genius or whatever, something like that, right? You better have strong talking points for him. So let's see what this is all about. Don't mind the laundry on my bed, all right? We're dealing with that. Go follow me on Twitter. It's in the description. Watch the moments Elon Musk confronts BBC reporter James Clayton for not being able to provide being interviewed by the BBC, but also interviewing the BBC on their bullshit, pretty much, which is awesome.
I mean, I would only just add that, you know, we have spoken to people who have been sacked that used to be in content moderation, and
Right.
we've spoken to people very recently who were involved in moderation, and they just say there's not enough people to police this stuff, particularly around.
So if you don't know, when Elon Musk came into the company, he actually fired all the employees. There was a big uproar, and he went in there. They had 8,000 employees, and they dropped it down to like 1,500. He tried to save costs as much as possible.
Particularly around hate speech in the company. Is that
What
something
hate
that you
speech
want
are you
to
talking
address?
about? I mean, you use Twitter.
Right.
Do you see a rise in hate speech?
I mean,
But just a personal anecdote, like what do you? I don't.
personally, my for you, I would see I get more of that kind of content. Yeah, personally, but I'm not going to talk to the rest of for the rest of Twitter.
You
But
see more
personally,
hate speech personally.
I would say I would
Okay.
see more hateful content in that.
Content you don't like or hateful? What do you mean to describe a hateful thing?
Yeah, I mean, you know, just content that will.
What the interviewer is saying pretty much is saying like, okay, I see a lot of hateful content, but what is hateful content, right? Is it like a South Park episode, or is it like some fucking crazy, some type of genocide or some type of terrorist act or something like that? Is it particularly that you're talking about?
Solicit a reaction, something that may include something that is slightly racist or slightly sexist, those kinds
Slightly
of
racist, slightly
So you think if
sexist,
something
right?
is slightly sexist, it should be banned.
No,
Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, I'm just
saying,
curious. I'm trying to understand what you mean by hateful content, and I'm asking for specific examples. And you just said that if something is slightly sexist, that's hateful content. Does that mean that it should be banned?
well, you've asked me whether my feed, whether it's got less or more. I'd say it's got slightly more.
That's why I'm asking for examples. Can you name one example?
I honestly don't. Honestly, I
You
don't.
can't name a single example.
I'll tell you what.
Yo, Elon, he needs to chill out, but he's too fucking real. He needs to chill, because so this guy's trying to like put a rhetoric out there saying like, oh, there's more hateful content on there, and then Elon Musk, as the person that owns Twitter, he wants to like understand like what specific content are you talking about, so he could possibly rectify it. He could look into it. He could talk to his staff, you know, somebody on a moderation team or something like that, to get it rectified, get it fixed. That's why he's trying to ask the question like, what are you talking about? What is the specific content? Give me like an example so I could fix it, you know?
Why? Because I don't actually use that for you feed anymore, because I just don't particularly like it.
But you
And
said
actually,
you-
a lot of people are quite similar. I only
Well,
look at
hang on a second. You said you've seen more hateful content, but you can't name a single example, not even one.
I'm not sure I've used that feed for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and
Well, then how did you see the hateful content?
Because I've been using.
Yeah, how'd you see it?
Taking it over for the last 6 months.
Okay, so then you must have at some point seen that for you hateful content. I'm asking for one
Damn.
example.
Right.
And you can't give a single one.
And I'm
Damn.
saying,
Then I say, sir, that you don't know what you're talking about.
really.
Yes, because you can't give me a single example of hateful content, not even one tweet. And yet you claimed that the hateful content was high.
Well,
That's false.
no. What I
You just
claimed-
lied.
What? No. What I.
Yo, he's like, you just lie. You're talking bullshit. You're talking out of your ass, and you're lying. Right, holy. Okay, this has to be like one of the most embarrassing interviewers at this point. That's why I like Elon Musk, you know, a lot actually. But It's just the fact of him. He just like, usually when you say that there's hateful content, let's say I'm the interviewer, right? And I tell you that you have hateful content. You usually just say, oh, really? We do? We need to fix that immediately. Don't worry about it. It's going to be all fixed. But you don't ask the question of what needs to be fixed. What specific hateful content are you talking about? They usually don't go that route. They don't ask questions. They just believe that there's hateful content, and then they just ban anything that seems hateful. He doesn't even want to give an example of what specific hateful comment that Elon Musk's supposed to fix. You know, you can't just say, oh, there's hateful content. He's just going to go in there and say, okay, anything that somebody's saying something slightly sexist, slightly racist, maybe even a joke, a black humor, a dark humor joke, and he just ban it. And if that's the case, that means that Twitter's not going to be a free speech platform like Elon Musk wants it to be.
Claim was there are many organizations that say that kind of
many organizations, all right.
Now, whether it has on my feed or not. I mean, right, and
literally
if you look at something like the
Damn, why is Elon doing this to him?
In the UK, they will say that. So
look, people will say all sorts of nonsense. I'm literally asking for a single example. And
he's right about that one.
Right, and as I already said, I don't use that feed. But
then how would you know that?
I don't think this is getting anywhere.
You literally said you experienced more hateful content, and then couldn't name a single example.
Right, and as I said,
that's absurd.
I haven't actually looked at that feed.
Then how would you know there's hateful content?
Because I'm saying that's what I saw a few weeks ago. I can't give you an exact example.
You have a phone in your hand, you can't give an example. Great job.
Wow. COVID misinformation.
He said, wow, he's just like, fuck me.
Amazing.
You've changed the COVID misinformation.
Has BBC changed its COVID misinformation?
The BBC does not set the rules.
You're the silence.
No, I'm talking about the BBC's misinformation about COVID.
I hold on, man. Let me go back.
The BBC does not set the rules on Twitter, so I'm asking you.
No, I'm talking about the BBC's misinformation about COVID.
I'm literally.
Look at his face. I just wanted to shut up to see how long he sit there and just looked at him blankly for fucking like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, right? In silence. It's great to see it because he's looking at Elon Musk saying like, really, man, come on, like, work with me. But Elon Musk doesn't work with anybody. He's just a fucking neutral state, but he does not give a fuck. So he's gonna continue to act how he wants to fucking act. If you want to interview him about tough questions about fucking COVID misinformation, you better have some shit ready and like your questions ready, bro. Especially with COVID, when there was a lot of different news sources doing a lot of crazy shit. And Elon Musk is going to say it here, actually.
Asking you about, you changed the labels, the COVID misinformation labels. There used to be a policy, it then disappeared. Why do that?
Well,
Damn, the science
COVID is
killing
no
me.
longer an issue. Does the BBC hold itself at all responsible for misinformation regarding masking and side effects of vaccinations, and not reporting on that at all? And what about the fact that the BBC was put under pressure by the British government to change its editorial policy? Are you aware of that?
Yo, why is the interview so silent?
About the BBC.
Oh, so. You thought it wasn't?
I see.
Yo, you can yo, when he said that, you can see how he laughed, and then he just, Elon Musk is not laughing. He's fucking serious. He's more serious than a goddamn stone. It has so many fucking views. It has like 9 million, 6.2 million views. And I think he tweeted it multiple times. And then it has like crazy retweets and crazy comments and all that shit. You come in front of like literally the guy that's going to fucking space. He's sending like satellites to space, and you have your phone in your hand and you don't even prepare yourself for a proper interview with Elon Musk. Like, that's the dumbest thing I ever seen in my life. Like, if I were to meet Elon Musk one day, I think I will have a better script. You know, at the end of the day, you have to be prepared. If you're meeting people of this caliber meaning how deep their pockets are, you need to make sure you're prepared, because you don't want to look like a dumbass, right? Out of all the reporters that probably been there a lot longer, that could ask him actually tough questions. Because a person like Elon Musk, I feel like you need to bring somebody of A game, because if you don't, you're pretty much screwed. It'd be a waste of time interview. The policies that was put in for COVID. Those questions are pretty much, you could self-answer those questions. You don't need an answer from Elon Musk about that. I wouldn't ask him about the hate speech on Twitter. I'll ask him about Twitter Blue and why the fuck you're charging $8. You know, I think there's the other questions you could ask him about Twitter to like make a good story. Like he wants to catch him on something, but you really can't catch him on something when he's like the richest man on the planet. I feel like if you wanted to really catch him, you will ask something better. There you go. I don't know. I took my take on it. Maybe it's a W take. Maybe it's an L take. It seems unnecessarily stupid to have this guy interview him, but I don't know. He's a dumbass. Complete dumbass. I don't know who the fuck hires these people. That's it. I'm done. That's it.